Hello, 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 and welcome back. Game 2 of Group B action coming your way in just a moment. These are the upper bracket finals of the group stage. We've got Winstrike versus Positive, guys, who are probably not feeling so positive after that one. What do you think, Lizard?
Well, I think you're right. Like, after that first game, you have to feel a little bit down and under. Like, winning convincingly the laning stage and then just failing to perform afterwards, failing to just grasp that victory. That was within their reach, objectively speaking. But, however, I think they proved that they're a team that can match Winstrike in every way,
Yeah, I mean, it's the first day of the season.
Yeah.
What, is Winstrike supposed to be super favored, or are you just a little fanboy? That's what it sounds like.
Look at it this way. Winstrike is an organization. They have salaries. They live here somewhere in Kyiv in a house together, Like, they might not live right now, but they have a boot camp.
I was going to say, none of this sounds like you know what you're talking about.
They have boot camps here, While on the other hand, positive guys, they're just a bunch of positive, happy little chaps.
I see.
Are here to play some Dotes.
Well, you talk about some Dotes. I am loving the Winstrike opener. Leshrac is my favorite hero, and I think one of the best in Dota 2.
Man,
You've got Tiny in comparison. Yeah,
Leshrac
seriously.
and Tiny. That combination used to be one of the best to play on that offlane. Toss into stun, bye Enchantress. I don't think Void necessarily falls to that combination. There's a lot of burst damage, so he can Void walk away. But Tench certainly does, if she's the position 5 on that lane. So I do like this opener quite a lot. Then again, positive guys opening with a Void that didn't really have any success in that first game. That Void was possibly their weakest link, so I'm surprised they open up with him. And Enchantress did all right. I think she created enough space in the early game, and later on, I mean, if you just compare Enchantress and her impact in that game versus No Fear's Disruptor. No Fear was feeding 24/7, but he has multiple power spikes as a position 5, right? And he has that ability to win you a couple of fights as soon as he hits level 6, and then afterwards, if he gets that Aghanims at some point, the game just changes. Enchantress, I really do not see the reason why she's so beloved by our Misha here.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. It does not seem like the same hero that we witnessed at TI. And I think it's also one of the more complex heroes to play, not just as an individual, but to try and
as a team, right?
Yeah, exactly. And when you're OG and you're no-tail, sure, you can make the best of it. But I haven't seen him utilize something Johan did every game, effectively, which was stack camps early on with those overtaking creeps.
Yeah, definitely, I have to agree with that. And they haven't stacked at all so far in this series.
But they picked it into Tiny Leshrac.
Yeah. Enchantress does not like to play against those heroes as well. Like in that last game, there wasn't really many heroes that could deal with. And now this makes me think. Last game, Immersion played Grimstroke, position 4. Is this going to be a position 4 Wyvern?
Or I don't think so. I think it's a counter. No. It's a deny pick, right? Because otherwise, you're just going to get Wyvern selected by Winstrike, and all of a sudden your Void is useless.
I mean, yeah.
I think that
there are other heroes that they can still pick that can make Void quite useless, right? You have options, but Disruptor per se is also in the pool, right? You could go for that guy as well. But the thing is, if your Wyvern is 5, this Enchantress could be offlane then, and that switches things around a little bit. Then again, Leshrac is pretty decent even versus Enchantress offlane, as he brings a lot of magic damage and burst early on, and pure as well, obviously.
Let's think. What hero would Lil play here? I guess it'll be the Tiny. I think you maybe go for your 5 position here. No Fear Jakiro, perhaps, with the Rubik ban preemptively.
You could go for that. Shadow Demon has been banned out. Disruptor is still in the pool. Jakiro is decent as well. I guess they're afraid of the opening of positive guys. It's very ambiguous. You don't really know where Enchantress is going to be. But then again, if positive guys, the way they played that last game is position 4 Grimstroke, and Grimstroke is so much alike Winter Wyvern. Oh, quite an old school counter to Void, like Vengeful. I don't really see this hero as a counter to Void very often. She used to be picked so much like 2014-15 in a way in which you would just swap out the target at Void Chronos, then you would be in the Chrono, but you don't really care, you're a position 5, you die for Chrono, you're fine with that. So it is definitely a good pick for Winstrike, but now I'm thinking, how will they make her aura work? Like, they need to now combo Vengeful with some physical damage dealing midder or safe laner.
You do have a ton of options, though. I could see a Medusa 4th pick for Winstrike as a possibility. Underlord, wow. I will say it is one of my favorite offlaners with Void. I think Timbersaw and Underlord specifically are your ideal two because you have so much damage output in the chrono. And it's also something that can get down and dirty in the middle of a fight so that Void isn't forced to Chronosphere to initiate. You've got a big beef hero that can either create space for you or absorb some damage so that you can counter-initiate.
Are they gonna just go ham and pick something like an Ursa? I guess Ursa is a completely dead hero right now. But what options do you have versus Underlord that are really good? You have your Ursa, your Monkey King. Both heroes aren't really picked a lot or in the meta at the moment.
I like Monkey King. I like Monkey King here quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, Monkey King is good, I guess. Let's see what they go for. They go for the Abaddon. So the Tiny might be mid, right? Or even the Lash. If the Abaddon is going to be that guy on the offlane versus the Void. We see that played out quite often, like Abaddon versus the Void. But the problem is, if you leave the Abaddon alone, he loses that matchup. And you could really benefit from Tiny plus Lash being together. Vengeful plus Abaddon, though, you have a lot of like mid-game potential. After the laning stage, you can be really difficult to deal with. Like, you get a lot of utility from these two heroes. A Wave of Terror, Aura from Vengeful, Abaddon with the shield, perhaps Medallion, Vlad's. You can just destroy them. Even this tanky Underlord falls quite quickly if you have a lot of negative armor on him.
That's a good point. And I'm trying to think, how... I guess it's just push power, right? That's what I see most of all. Not necessarily the matchups against positive guys, but we've seen Leshrac Abaddon, especially when they're both cores. Like, this is... I've yet to see it lose. Yeah, in fact, I've yet to see it do anything less than dominate.
So pretty much Lesh mid, Abaddon offlane, Tiny position 4 played by Lil, Vengeful 5, and you last pick your carry. You're good to go. But this Lash obviously can go on the side lane as well, and then you last pick your mid. That's also an option for Winstrike. Iceberg does love that Lash quite a lot. Weaver banned out by Positive, guys. Alright, interesting ban.
Especially when you already have a Void.
I guess they're afraid of the fact that Vengeful Spirit, Abaddon, and Weaver, you won't be able to, and Lash obviously, you won't be able to play in the mid game. They'll crush you. They'll just run you over. That power spike with all the negative armor would be too much. They're so mobile.
You know, I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of it, but like Gyrocopter here for Winstrike. What do you think? Any sort of mid game tempo?
Yeah, I like that. Also, he scales quite well later on as well.
Pretty bad against Underlord Void later on in the game.
What about something like a Wraith King? Or I guess the hero is a little bit dead, but versus Void, yeah, versus Underlord is difficult.
Ember Spirit?
10 seconds remaining.
Not a fan, but I guess it could work as well. You have Enchantress to take off the Flame Guard, Void is good. Terrorblade.
Wow. Into Wyvern Underlord.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. It is a ballsy pickup, I guess. But then again, you have that hard carry to rely on later. You have Abaddon, and you have Venge to swap him, and you have Venge to give him extra damage, and you're gonna create space with Lash, Venge, Abaddon for him. So I guess it's kinda alright.
What do you do? Do you Ember yourself on the side of Positive, guys?
I think Ember is possibly the pick for them. How well is he going to be able to play against Lash? That's my only question.
I think it's a pretty even matchup. I think it's Ember or Storm.
Ember, yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Versus the Terrorblade, it's such
versus
a good
Lash. It actually owns Lash too. The supports of Winstrike don't have the easiest stuns to land on you either, and it's a lot of magic damage. You're not really threatened by a TB ever, and the Flame Guard, especially if you talent for it, will render you nearly invincible. for some time, at least in a team fight.
Yeah.
I'm loving the Positive guys lineup, and personally, I think that they have hard outdrafted Winstrike. But or should I
Really?
say, Winstrike's hard outdrafted themselves with this
With
last
the
big
Terrorblade,
Terrorblade.
yeah.
This is not a Terrorblade game. This
I have
scares
to
me.
agree. I have to agree. Like their lineup in the first 4 picks was great for me.
Yeah,
I
loved it.
loved it. Everything was great. But then that last pick Terrorblade just made me thinking like you're playing into first Winter Wyvern. That's gonna be a position 4.
Yeah.
Which means that he's going to be with the Underlord on that offlane, spamming Splinter Blast at you all the time. And you might have a lot of armor, but your magic resistance is just like anyone else's, and you have like 500 HP or something. You're gonna be devastated on that lane. And later on, obviously, there's always the ulti from Wyvern to be afraid of.
It's not just that. It's like, if you pop meta, you have the Wyvern ulti, but you also have the Uber out. Underlord can just flee. You push a lane, you force the meta, and all of a sudden you're resetting completely. And the Venge
There's a
is
lot of
nice in a
AoE.
way. You can swap somebody out, maybe find that kill, but I'm just scared. I'm pretty concerned with this Winstrike lineup. They're gonna have to make some serious moves early on. Lesh is gonna have to go off.
But they do have heroes that can make those moves.
True.
Like when you look at these heroes, you have Lesh, you have Tiny, you have Abaddon, there's a lot of aggression. On the other side, you have Enchantress and Winter Wyvern supports. They're very good defensively, but offensively, they don't offer a whole lot early on, right? So it's definitely on Winstrike to just play their lineup in an aggressive way, while the enemy team just has to, wait up and wait for that Ember to hit that peak and move around the Ember. That's pretty much it. The Chrono, again, is like, if the Void plays like he played that last game, Winstrike will still win it. I don't care how hard they counter the Terrorblade.
Well, we're going to have to find out. I'm going to hop in the game in just a sec. We're going to check out game 2. We've got a tempo-based lineup featuring a Terrorblade last pick up against Ember Void Underlord. Probably one of my favorite tricores that I've seen this far in the tournament. I think that it's a weird concept to have multiple melees with a Void, but when they can deal damage from outside of the Chrono as effectively, it's quite nice. And once again, Immersion, man, he loves this Tango 6 Mango, or 5 Mango build, rather.
It's back to, 2017 builds. This is how you would start on offlane with, Crystal Maiden, Wyvern, Grimstroke, these kind of heroes. You just go on the offlane and you spam your nukes. It's pretty good versus Terrorblade. And most carries, definitely. It got countered back then by heroes that do the same, by a lot of mangoes, but spam out heals. That's when we saw the meta of Warlocks, Witch Doctors, Abaddons even later on. Dazzles, just constantly spamming this hard carry to stay alive. But in this game, they don't really have that option, as the position 5 is the Vengeful Spirit, so it won't be that easy for him to... Oh, Aragon.
Oh, he's
Just
dead.
Just dead, indeed. Well, no Fear has no stun, but this should still be the death of Aragon. And it's also Lash that gets it.
Oh, that's
awesome for Iceberg. That's an ult talisman, extra ult talisman right there, instantly. I love what... I mean, he was trying to do what every midder does right now. Go behind the tower, eat the tree, try to figure out where their ward is. If the tower attacks you, there's an observer there. If it doesn't, you don't have to waste the sentry. But it didn't work out for him. He feeds the first blood to Lash, and he makes that lane a lot more difficult for himself.
Oh, for sure. And this is exactly what you're looking for if you're Winstrike. The hero that's most important is that Leshrac.
This block is really good for Aragon, though.
Yeah.
At least. Like, he didn't block at all. Iceberg blocked really well. Because of that, the lane is going to push into Aragon's tower, and he will be able to get a few last hits, even though he suffered that first blood.
He will lose the last hits. I agree, but Iceberg can play aggressive under tower now. Maybe even pop an Edict early, try and force some damage. Nope, we'll just go for the stun. You can see the odds changing immediately as the first blood lands. Many people looking for Winstrike to potentially 2-0 this. And I will say that even though we've discussed how the Terrorblade, it could be an outdraft in the sense that Positive guys have the tools in theory to answer the Winstrike lineup. Perhaps the sum of its parts will prove too formidable in the sense that they have both the stun and initiation necessary to find that window, have all their cores start beating on towers.
Iceberg. He is being chased down by Aragon, but that's only level 1 Flame Guard. He won't be able to
Nice
get the
lightning.
kill there. Prevents him from denying it as well. And so far on the mid lane, 62 by Iceberg, 3-0, 4-0 by Ember. I mean, it's just the first couple of waves.
Yeah, the first light's certainly going to pay dividends. However,
I mean, one of the reasons why Underlord stopped being picked all the time is because this hero is just so slow. Like, his movement speed got nerfed time after time. And if you kill him a couple of times, he has no comeback mechanics. And also, he cannot creep skip due to those nerfs when it comes to his movement speed. So if you manage to kill him a couple of times, Ghostic can just fall apart and not have a game.
Yeah, but Avenge on Terrorblade is unfortunately not a lane that's going to be doing much killing.
Definitely. You need a rotation from your Tiny as well in order for that to happen, but then Tiny would leave the Abaddon, which is not going to happen.
Yeah, this is big, though. The Leshrac is the key, because Terrorblade, yeah, sure, you're the hard carry, but like we saw in the first game of the day, if Iceberg can get ahead on this Leshrac, he can get some serious work done.
Oh, nice toss back. And Lil gets the haste.
Yeah, I'll go all the way back to base,
Yeah,
I think.
probably just use that to
Just
go.
clear. Maybe he looks to go mid, actually. In fact, he will. He's going to try and get mid, I think, when he has toss.
There's a good ward, though. So that should not work, because they do scout him out.
Yeah.
And it's pinged out instantly.
Nice movement, though. I like his decision. I think it's the most effective use of that haste rune that he could get. Now he'll just sit here. Ember's got to be careful. We'll hide in the trees now as Iceberg collects lane control on his hill.
I mean, this is just as effective, right? You're just standing here, and Ergon, he can't approach the creep wave. It's such a... there, he even uses the scan. But what good is the scan?
Yeah, you know he's there.
Like, you know he's there. And what are you supposed to do if you're an Ember there? Just cry to your teammates, please. Can someone come and get this guy away from mid lane? The best way to do it is to tell your side lanes to pressure that offlaner even harder, so that the Tiny feels like he has to do something. He has to go back and help him out.
Oh, what a
Instead,
toss. A tree cut. Nice juke stun from Iceberg as well. That was super sick. Well played by everyone
Now, if
involved.
they body block him, he has a Fairy Fire to work with, but he's dead. Great play.
That was sick.
Yeah, that was sick toss instantly.
And the cancel of
And
the Lesh
cancel,
stun as
yeah.
well to ensure the kill.
Very well played by them.
They're off to a great start if you're Winstrike. Again, Iceberg totally free farming, more denies than enemy last hits, and 2 kills already. This is the hero that takes towers early. You create that advantage for Terrorblade.
Yeah, he's doubling the Ember. Like, he has more denies than he has last hits, right? And overall 23 last hits. On the top lane as well, Terrorblade is doing very well. Lil, with his rotations, we talked about him. And this Tiny, he goes top, helps them kill the Winter Wyvern as well. And now Kuman with that meta pop, like, he can zone out the Ghostic too.
Well played, yeah. So far, so good for Winstrike. Off to a big lead. And the big benefit of the draft, of course, is that they are the ones with the tower pressure. You look at Positive, guys. Big weakness, no actual hero that's adept at killing towers. So if you get off to a bit of a slow start, Winstrike suddenly has 3 of your tier 1s by 10 to 15 minutes, and you've lost map control.
A big problem is also the fact that Nongrata is just able to get experience and farm on this bottom lane on his own, while Tiny is rotating across the map. He gave him just a small advantage early on, and then left him all alone lonesome on that lane to do whatever he can, and he did a lot.
And look at this. No fear, looking to get the rune, and he does. Runs through the flames, though. Might go down for it. Nope.
Salve is there. Oh,
Nice job.
yeah, that Splinter Blast doesn't really work. Might still... Nah, he won't take down. I don't think so.
Shrine is active as well.
Lil might...
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, I was
Really well
thinking-
done. They got all 4 runes.
Yeah, Nongrata on the bottom lane as well. With the Lash.
Yep, I like the rotation. I think that that's a really nice move there. Iceberg is excellent at moving around early on this Leshrac. Similar to Sumail, you know, players that typically don't rotate too much, when they get the Leshrac, it's almost like the hero plays itself. Like anything you want to do, you want to farm stacks, go for it.
You just
Get kills, whatever.
He's just so strong early on, that hero. It's insane. Ghostic probably will survive here because Immersion is the one that falls. Once again.
Kuman continuing to farm up. They're going to go for him again. And now they might be able to get the toss back. In fact, they do. Nice job by Lil. Ghostic in some trouble. I don't know if he'll be able to TP here. In fact, now he's almost certainly
on the
dead.
mid lane, Lash might fall as well, though. As we
Nice
see
stun.
Iceberg.
Can he turn this around? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh
He might get
no,
Ergon.
he ran out of mana. That would have been a double kill had he had 2 more ticks.
That was so unfortunate for him, as that was a 3-man rotation towards that mid lane. Both supports rotating in to try and shut him down. And they do manage to do so. And that's a big kill for them. They needed to help that Ember out, as he's, what, 1.5k gold away, 6 minutes in from that Lash.
And speaking of 3, I mean 3k gold already for Winstrike into the advantage. And a lot of that on the Leshrac Terrorblade, the two heroes most terrifying in terms of their ability to take down structures. Nangrata will once again be going for that phase boots Vlad's rush as expected. No fear.
No fear, my sir. What's he doing?
What?
He actually might. Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh my. Okay, Iceberg is gonna bail him out. But that was.
Yo, no. No, if there's anyone in this game who's on the right position, it's my man No Fear on that 5. That is the role for you, my friend. You play with confidence for sure.
But what was he even searching there? Why did he go in those trees? Like, he saw the Ember TPing away, right? And he saw him remnanting to... that was just some weird stuff right there. At the same time, Enchantress falls. Terrorblade is getting quite low on the top lane. Chased down by Immersion, but that's all he can do. Just zone him out from the creeps a little bit. But Coolman won't even go base. He can just continue farming with his illusions and his high armor.
I love the way Iceberg's playing. You would have seen some perhaps more inexperienced Leshrac players pressuring here, trying to like push creep wave, hit tower. But the way you want to play this lane is exactly as he's done it.
Right?
Deny, try and keep lane control. Don't expose yourself to a potential counter gank. And then as the rune spawns, now you can push the lane, go try and get some control. It will be a bottled DD for the Tiny.
And he's TPing top.
Yep.
No Fear is there, and they're going around Ghosting, but that's
And they know.
a good use of Quelling Blade. Perhaps he can get out. No mana, no TP. I don't think he's going to get out.
No, that is not
Probably.
juke. That is
Probably not
that
going
is
to
not
happen.
it. Nice stun. Iceberg is on point thus far.
Oh, one more hit. He's got him, but LTW is here, and this chrono is already a good one.
He's got the bash. I don't think there's enough damage, though. They're going to need another W. This is a DD on the Tiny, and yeah, Void might survive here. Leap in a second. No.
No way. Non-Grata would have gotten that fourth attack, and he'd be silenced anyway. Pretty good rotation by the Void. I praised him at the start, but then, again, Lil rotates. And so does Venge. They save the Lesh.
The thing is, it has to be the Ember Spirit that would rotate, right? And then this is the difference between Aragon and perhaps a more experienced player, like, say, a Mid-One or a Miracle, where you find yourself behind. You've got to rotate. You've got to get aggressive because you get those kills because of the way experience comeback mechanics work.
Especially if you remember. Like, that thing is pretty much works the same for any hero. If you get this far behind, you have nothing to lose if you rotate, you know, like, it's good for you.
Exactly. Even if you die, you're giving away nothing.
Yeah, you're going to give away 150 gold or something. But when you remember, man, like, come on. You get that level 6, you get your ass out of that jungle, and you go and help out your Void when he's doing an action such as that one.
No Fear with the smoke. Along with Iceberg, they're going to try and find a kill onto this Underlord. Will they be able to do so is the question.
They're
Answer
both
is
being
no.
rooted, but that secures the bounties, as No Fear has that ward that he can place behind the tower. They see Ghost Stick, but they don't have to pursue him. They should just go for the bounties, I believe, here.
Yep, Nangrata going to get aggressive, try and control this one. Will he click it? No, he does not. Immersion wins that trade.
He has been silenced, though. Immersion might just fall here.
God.
Nangrata gets him. However, does he have a point for ulti? He does. And he uses it. He's going towards that second bounty rune, but Aragon is on to him.
If he dies,
maybe he can deny himself as well here. That's an option. One more. Oh, he shields himself.
He's got it.
Denied.
Nice. That is perfect. So much space created. Give him the tips. Give him the alt chat. They get bot tower for that, too. So he gets a kill. He gets a bounty rune. He collects 3 heroes' attention. His team gets a tower.
Ember wastes so much of his time,
Yeah.
and he denies himself in the end.
Definition of space created.
Now that was really well played by him. Overall, Iceberg took that tier 1 on the bottom lane, and now he can rotate towards the mid one. Wyvern has ported in, however, and he does have that ulti, but how much that ulti does right now, that's questionable. Non-Grata ports back top. He doesn't want to lose the tower, but he might have to deny it as it's getting pretty low. Void might go for it, yeah. Doesn't have that ulti yet. In 1 second, though, he will. Has to be careful a little bit, because that ulti will proc right now, and the chrono is there, but yeah, that chrono...
That's...
Yes. Perfect. Perfect. I don't think Void is the hero, man. For these guys, at least. Like, ILTW, he has a lot of heroes that he plays very well, but so far, his Void hasn't really been stellar. He uses these chronos when they're unnecessary. And I believe in that first game, he held to that chrono a little bit too much, that in this game he's trying to correct his mistake and he's overcorrecting it. He's using it in situations in which he shouldn't be. And I don't know, in that last game he could have been the Void that just rotates around, uses chrono, because his lone druid was creating like so much space, you know, and fighting. But in this game maybe he should be the one that takes space and Ergon should be the one that rotates about and just wreaks havoc on Winstrike.
There you go. You learned that last time we were doing this together. 9K. Wow, they're 4K gold lead. 9-1 the score.
12 minutes in though, 4K is quite significant. We have a toss from Lesh. And Nisha might fall here. Let's see. He does. Iceberg, however, there is a little
No Fear does have swap available. I expect him to use it. Yeah, that was easy. Nice stun on the Ghost Stick as well.
Iceberg has to be careful still. Gets healed up.
Grata behind him, and now the Kuman swapping. Oh, nice swap from No Fear. Another one. Because the Wyvern ult was already used, there's not going to be any follow-up. Now Iceberg still full HP thanks to the non-Grata support. That's an easy triple kill into mid tower. And hey, you've got meta popped, you've got Avenge. Why not make it another, folks?
You know what? I love giving No Fear Vengeful. Disruptor cannot do this. He cannot be the one that runs in front and does this shit. But when you give No Fear his Vengeful, he can go in front, stun, swap, create space for his teammates to come and help him out.
Yeah.
And now that's a tier 1 and a tier 2 on the mid lane. And this game is looking much harder for Positive guys than it did in that first match.
And I don't know if you noticed, but I did predict, of course, that Positive guys had the better draft. I just wanted to ensure. I'm hungry. You know, we wanted that quick 2-0, so I had to throw my weight where it was needed.
It was your curse then. Kyle has to be right?
Yeah, speaking of, look at the odds. Winstrike, incredible favorites thus far. Not to be surprised. It just seems difficult for Positive guys to come back into this regardless of their mindset, simply due to the fact that they are so far behind in towers and map control.
And with these heroes that can be countered, I guess you could kill a Terrorblade a couple of times and come back like that, but I don't know.
No fear. This guy, man.
He's just, I mean, there is a Terrorblade around, and he might be baiting Kuman into dying. It's not about himself. Kuman is in problems. There we go. This might be the first mistake. There's Abaddon, though. He's here. He's
nice Wyvern ulti. Non-Grata going to take a bunch of damage, but he'll pop his ultimate immediately. Kuman just continuing to be supported. He has the Sunder prepared if necessary.
Non-Grata might turn even here. 4 attacks, and that's a silence, so he has to be careful. ELTW has that chrono there to work with. This should be a chrono, right? There we go. Sunder did pop out first, but there's enough damage to take down the
there's the damage. He missed.
Also, Abaddon has no ulti. He popped it earlier, so...
He missed all the remnants, though. ILTW goes down as well, and now Ergon is in a ton of trouble. He has no remnants remaining.
Non-Grata with the silence. Now Lil is there as well, and they should make quick work of him here. The toss is there. Ergon. He's still running, but he should most certainly die here, right? One more attack, he dodges that one. Not he's dead. Yeah, that fight could have went much better for them.
He missed all the remnants.
Yeah.
He missed them. They didn't do damage.
It happens, you know, misclick.
He was chronoed.
Lag.
Okay.
I don't know how you missed that in the chrono though, but...
Iceberg getting a bunch of space. As that occurred, does he have bots up yet? Nope, not quite. No fear, man. This guy is just so deep. And I think he said it best. Like, this is just the perfect hero for him to be playing.
I mean, when this guy started off playing, like, long time ago, you would see him on these tanky, bulky heroes, like Baraturms, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, he's definitely a Spirit Breaker player.
Yeah, right?
He's got that mindset.
Yeah, you see it. You can see it in a player. Tusks, stuff like that.
Oh, hang on. We got initiation up top. The Lesh Sun will land. Lil has the Blink Dagger. Oh, that's a dead Void. They're going to try and get follow-ups here, but this is a 10 armor, 2,000 HP Tiny. Is this really the target you want to go for? Indeed it is. Yes. They will find the kill with a quarter of a second to spare. Teleport now towards bottom from the Enchantress.
That's a position 4 Tiny for a position 1 Void. That's hardly worth it for you if you're Positive guys.
And look at this, they might look for more. This triumvirate, the Lesh, Abaddon, and Venge.
Yeah, they can go into the pit. I believe they
Love
have
it.
Lads and Medallion, right? On Non-Grata.
And
now
a
they're
DD, yeah.
the DD on Kuma. And you don't even... Well, they will pop the Terrorblade form.
No reason not to.
Yeah, that is there.
Dude, there's so much damage. It's insane how much damage they're able to deal.
This game is very difficult for Positive guys. Like, they have to catch this. They need to use the Chrono on the Terrorblade. You're not killing him in any other way. But to kill him in the Chrono, you also have to control the Abaddon somehow. And if you don't control the Abaddon, the Vengeful is going to just swap the Terrorblade out. You have... like, there's so many saves. Like in that first game, right? In that first game, you had so many saves. Shadow Demon, OD.
Speaking of saves, there's a swap from No Fear. Nongrata's going to get the ultimate off. No Fear will die in the pit of despair. Nongrata, however, will escape unscathed.
Everyone else is just like, we're out of here.
Yeah, thanks,
Sorry,
buddy.
bro. Yeah. They do have the Aegis on the Lush, so they could possibly go for this tier 2 on the bottom lane.
And I love how they're just playing together. Lil and Iceberg. They're a kill combo, right? Anybody who shows up bottom, even if it's the Ember Spirit, is immediately going to go down. And
It's
in
such a-
fact, oh, a little slow there. Has to toss first in that scenario if you want to land that kill properly.
LTW, what does he have? Maelstrom perhaps flying over to him instantly into a BKB afterwards. He needs the BKB, but they also desperately need damage too.
Yeah,
Ench
Misha's immediately dead. I don't know if this is a fight you want to take here. There's no mana, however, on Iceberg. He's still putting that extra point into ultimate, which I guess does increase his damage up. But when you go the bots first, you are able to reset more often. But I still feel like sometimes just the 1 point for a little while is warranted. No Fear, once again, going to be the target here as Aragon finds him. Gets stunned, but nothing much for the Vengeful Spirit to do here. He will die. Iceberg reset, full mana coming back into the battle. Will get ulted immediately.
That ulti didn't really do a whole lot. Lil is still chasing down
Right into
Aragon's
Nongrata.
Ember. Yeah. Nongrata sadly has no way of getting on top of him after that those chains are used. I mean, Vengeful dies there, but that prevents them from using that offensive remnant onto anyone else, right? They get the Vengeful and the tower still stands afterwards because of that.
There's a 10k, almost 11k net worth on this Terrorblade though, man. He is so fat.
And that's pretty much their advantage, right? 10k advantage, 19 minutes in. Winstrike is in a really good position at the moment, and Void...
Toss back
can they
to
actually do
Iceberg.
enough here? I don't think they can.
He's got Chronos
Lil
Fear,
might
you gotta
die
be
here.
careful. Okay, he pops it, but now there's going to be a stun. Will miss. Yules is ready as well, but Iceberg not going to be able to do anything just yet. Toss from Lil, but nothing coming from it. He will pay with his life.
At
However,
least Misha got the kill, right? So that's something, and Terrorblade also gets the tower.
I think you take
Pretty
that.
good.
And more importantly, Chrono's used, right? And now all of a sudden Winstrike can just get super aggressive. They have no fear whatsoever. And oh god, Pango, you got to be careful if you're PG here. Iceberg continuing to pursue. They will get out of here. Glyph popped. Not sure I agree with that decision. It means the base is exposed. Kuman has Manta
I think that's going
and
to
Meta
be,
available.
I think that's going to be a tower and into the bounty rooms, right? They're
Yeah.
spawning in 10 seconds. Perhaps if No Fear swaps someone, he's just messing with them, playing with their mind. But they will go for the
Oh, nice
bounties.
job. Leland the stun just a little early,
Yeah, you
but
have
it does
to-
secure the bounties.
You have to time it perfectly,
Yeah.
right, to get him. So
In theory, it's not you're not ever going to be able to
Yeah.
land that stun. No fear. I feel like I've seen him in this position a few times before.
he has Nongrata now behind him. Because of that, he should be able to get away. And there's also Lashrak porting onto that range creep. He's back in fray once again.
You can see how conservatively they have to play with
And
no
look at
chrono.
that, they're so afraid, man. You see this Iceberg and you're running away from him instantly. You're popping that Winter's Curse. Just, I mean, it wasn't even necessary 2 times now in a row, but better safe than sorry, I believe.
Oh, they got him. Nice sentry ward there from No Fear. They're going to be able to find Ghost Stick no problem. There's no Wyvern ult, there's no Chrono, and there's absolutely nothing you can do as this Radiant lineup other than watch your core die.
He just falls. BKB should be completed very soon on the Terrorblade as well, and after that, well, maybe not even after that, as they are pressuring that mid-tier 2 already.
Hey, it's
No
no-
Fear, however, finding Ergon. He's just scouting him out. Lil has his sights on LTW, but he needs Lash to TP down there first. Human, meanwhile, just takes down a full tier 3, it seems. They went on the Void. Can they finish him? The Yules is there as well. And the Void's dead.
Yep. And slowly the chances of PG coming back into this game are dying as well, as they just simply don't have the items yet. A Maelstrom on both the Ember and the Void, but Winstrike, they're already working on their next round of items.
Yep.
3K save and Iceberg to go with the bots and the Yules. He's just going to press out bottom. Will clear this wave. Does not have teleport active yet, but he does have the Aegis respawn coming in, so we will be full mana now.
And it's so easy for them to get these pickoffs, right? We talked about how aggressive their team can be, and they are that aggressive. Like this Lash, you can see that like Lil just got a kill on the bottom lane, instantly goes mid, helps out versus that Ember, tries to get him. And
It's the difference of like rinse repeatable cooldowns versus long team fight ults, right?
Yep, definitely.
Winstrike just, whenever they have 2 or 3 heroes nearby, you can find a kill. PG, they need to be 5, and they need to have Chrono and Wyvern ulti available.
Yeah, and that's just not going to happen versus Venge and Abaddon, you know? Like, you can find No Fear, but good job, you know? Maybe not even him. There we go. Non-Grata gets swapped in.
Aether Lens on
Aether
Grata.
Lens
I like
versus
that.
the Chrono, right?
Yep.
It's pretty good.
He just mans up in the face of the Ember Spirit. ILTW will go forwards.
Well, he might fall here. Is there a swap for
Oh, you gotta be
Third Blade?
careful. I hope so.
There was no swap, but he
2
could
uphill
finish
misses
him.
though. And now Iceberg moves forward. Again, like both the ults are down now, and all of a sudden, all you can do as the side of Winstrike is run.
And Coolman uses that ulti on Misha. Back to full HP, like that Chrono never even happened.
Lands the stun onto Aragon. Iceberg now trying to get aggressive here, taking a ton of damage inside the pit. However, he's got to be cautious. No Yules will die. Rest of Winstrike forced to retreat. No Fear will die. A nice aggressive. Yeah, there's 5 heroes here still for Winstrike or for PG.
Vengeful
No
does
ultimate
buyback.
available. The Sunder is down, and yeah, buyback on No Fear. He said, "I died once. I'm ready to die again." But doesn't look like that'll be necessary, as Kuman shall survive. A little aggressive there. Leshrac continuously running out of mana before these fights really get underway. And now Lil, no man's land. Aragon coming back in. Under the fire as well. The green flames ticking down. That's a BKB on Kuman, though. Still no meta, but he's going to look to get aggressive here. Pops the meta now, but a little too late. They do not look to have the catching power, or do they? Aragon now. There's still no aid. There's no Sunder. There's no Sunder.
Terribly might fall.
Oh.
Non-Grata?
He's dead.
He's dead. That's a BKB and meta use.
What's happening?
They're just throwing. That's what's happening. This is,
Grata's now stuck. What's happening?
they just decided to play game 3, I guess. He
Oh,
denies
wait.
himself. That was nice. I guess they decided that they want to practice some more in the current patch, and they're taking us into the game 3 as they're fighting without their Lash. They're buying back, fighting back on that mid lane. Even the Terrorblade, he has like 15% HP, no Sunder. He pops the BKB and the meta to pursue an Underlord, and they have no catch there as well. Only Abaddon slowing him down with the passive. I don't know. It's some. They're just playing with their food a little bit, and this is how you throw games. Like you're still playing versus a Void, one good Chrono, and you're gone. Still though, 9k ahead, 25 minutes in. Runes are about to spawn. Lash should control both of these, but there is Underlord coming here as well.
Should still be fine.
Yeah.
Just needs that BKB. As soon as you pick that up, all of a sudden the magic damage threat of positive guys will disappear. And you got to be a little careful. We've already seen one throw today. And the draft from Winstrike is still going to be difficult to execute once the game gets late enough and the threat of the Chronosphere becomes too formidable. Like Terrorblade, you're against so much magic damage, notably the Ember Spirit. That hero will be king of this game if it does get late enough.
Some Shivas, you know, something like that later on, and those
levels,
illusions,
Ags.
Those illusions just fall easily. And there's not a whole lot of good control versus the Ember, right? So all these projectile stuns, like you have one from the Venge, you have one from the Lash, they take time to use.
Nice blink away from Lil. I'm not a fan of that smoke. I call that a do-something smoke, where you're not really sure what you're looking to do, but you just say, well, we should try and kill somebody, and it doesn't really get much done. Map control, bottom. Stun comes out in Aragon. Does he not have a Remnant? He doesn't have a Remnant. Got one now. He should be fine.
There is Terrorblade, though, coming
he's
from
coming
behind, but there's another Remnant now, and he should be safe this time around. However, on that mid lane, it's happening here. They go for no fear. It's just no fear a little bit playing. Well, he dies. Roche is going to respawn in about a minute.
Pipe Crimson up on the Underlord. They're starting to get tanky. Do have the Aegis and a BKB available on the Void. Not much you can do now in manner of Winstrike to try and peel him off your Terrorblade. And they don't really have save if the Venge isn't alive for that Chrono. Pike up on the TB now. Not a huge fan of the item. I think raw survivability might have been a bit better.
I guess keeping range away from the Void, but yeah, I agree.
What is?
Oh, that's an Aghanims on Lil. That's a full Aghanims completed on the Tiny, and that's so much damage. They have to be very careful against that. Specifically, the Wyvern and the Hunch. They fall so easily to it.
Nice stun. Oh, the BKB from Void, though. Will it be enough? Just doing some damage. My god, Iceberg's taking so much damage. He's going to get Chrono
Another
now,
swap,
but there's going to be
maybe?
another swap. Yeah.
No, no.
The toss away. What's happening? An aggressive, defensive Sunder, rather. Now Iceberg tanking the ultimate to the face. He still dies. My god, that is what happens when you get caught next to a Terrorblade.
Yeah, but that was quite well played by both teams, right?
Yeah.
In the end, Immersion with that gold ulti takes down Lash, and they invested so much into taking him down that they needed to kill him. The Chrono was there, the BKB from the Void as well. On the other side, one swap, then Tiny Toss, and also the Sunder. They invested a lot into saving him.
Yeah,
Now
that is.
they just have to delay this until meta falls.
Yeah,
Right?
this ILTW is just in. He does not have Chrono. He gets stunned actually inside. He leapt in. He actually leapt in again. Will be cold embraced. Kuman still just beating into whatever target wanders next to him. Lots of damage coming out. Nice toss back onto Ghostic. No fear, will most likely go down here, but the Underlord has to retreat. ILTW now manning up on side on Kuman. He forces himself away.
There's no Lesh.
No Sunder, no Lesh, as you said. He's in so much trouble now. Double teleports coming in. PBG, they could get a little too aggressive here. Nice Yules. Does he have a defensive remnant up? No, he does not. They won't have the magic damage to finish him, however. Can't get away. There it is. Last Remnant, however. 5 seconds on his next one. Iceberg pops the BKB, continues to pursue. Should be able to finish the Ember. Indeed, he does. ILTW now, no BKB. He's got to be cautious.
At the same time, ILTW goes for Lil, pops that BKB, and now turns his face towards Kuman. Kuman uses that Sunder on Ghostic, but he doesn't heal a whole lot, and now
Forces himself forward. Another nice Hurricane Pike. Iceberg does miss the stun. Immersion will survive. Gets the ultimate off just as it came off cooldown. 4 seconds on the ultimate on Nangrati. He's going to look to get aggressive here. He's got it up just in time. Will now look to try and finish off Misha, but he's got to be cautious. Nice stun onto the Void on the side. Do they have any mana on Ghostic? No, they don't. So there's no Uber out. There's a surge, and nobody's willing to pay the price.
Yeah, Aragon has to do something with that buyback, though. Like, he just bought back, and he didn't really do anything at all in that fight.
Look at how even everything is, though. The goal, the experience change, the damage done, more importantly.
Yeah, I think this team fight was, again, Winstrike just playing a little bit ahead of themselves, considering Leshrac was dead. Also, in that Roche pit, they were hit by Roshan a couple of times. Non-Grata, in particular. He got stunned, and because of that, he couldn't hit Void 4 times. It was on 3 ticks. If he hit him the 4th time there, Void can't jump out. He had no BKB and he would be silenced. So that teamfight would have been much, much easier for them, but sadly, Roshan stuns the Abaddon, and the teamfight is pretty even in the end.
Lil has got to toss first. You can actually remnant out of those stuns. You're not fully stun locked. There's just in multiple instances, and Ember, for the 3rd time, escapes death narrowly. I will say, Aragon in the early game on this Ember Spirit has not impressed me thus far, but in his mid to late game, he definitely starts to feel more comfortable. I mean, it wasn't the greatest start, though. He did get first blooded, and then
yeah, like the game started awfully for him. Also, the block was really good by Lash and all that stuff. The rotations. Overall, the only bad thing that he did, perhaps, right now is that buyback, as they didn't really get a lot out of it. But it did break the fight up, so maybe it was a good defensive buyback, but yeah, hard to say.
Mjolnir finished on the Void. Iceberg looking to go for a Shiva's next item, it appears.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ember do something similar, maybe Aghanims and the Shivas. Mjolnir completed on the Void. There's a lot of utility coming from both of these offlaners. On one side you have the Abaddon, with a lot of utility, on the other you have the Underlord. Quite similar in that aspect. One brings more to control with the pit, obviously, the other with the saves, with the Etherlands, Photic Shield, and the heals.
19k net worth on the Terrorblade. Second place, the Leshrac with 15.5. But the danger of these dual core lineups is that if you go down to a Wyvern ult to a Chronosphere, Positive guys can take a distinct team fight advantage as they now smoke up and look to get frisky.
Yeah, they smoke up, they have that chrono. Ember has lost his smoke though as he's attacking those creeps on the mid lane. And the illusion of Terrorblade, which should give it away a little bit. And it's Nongrata that's up front. Sadly for them, the Abaddon isn't really the best target to go on. But they will do so anyway.
Pops the smoke, in some trouble. Taking a lot of damage, now turning around. He wants to be able to conserve his ultimate if he can. And wow, they found Lil.
Hello, sir. That's a much better kill. But Enchantress falls. I mean, trading Ench for Tiny is definitely worth it for Positive guys.
Yeah. Is that Venge with the Vlad's queued up? Because you already have one on the Abaddon, don't you?
I guess you could sell it on Abaddon and get something else, if that's the case.
Lil's
Does he have Vlad's? He should have it, right?
Yeah, he definitely does. Somebody's got a Vlad's on Winstrike, I'm sure.
Well, Vengeful does have that recipe in the backpack, so...
Yeah, he's got Bracer queued up now, though, so I imagine he's just canceling it. Maybe purchased it by mistake.
Yeah, there's the Vlad's. Or Nongrata definitely has it. Yeah. What do we have here? Void just farming away, getting closer towards that MKB. And the game is so static at the moment. Both teams just happy to farm and wait it out. Positive boys try to go for a smoke here and there and get that chrono used, but they fail to do so and go back into the farming patterns. Just waiting to see which team is going to force the matter first, press the matter. Immersion, out pushing mid. Again, I have a feeling that this game is about the proper initiation later on, right? That's it. Like, who gets the proper initiation first? I think...
Oh, there talking about initiation. Swap out immediately. Iceberg shall survive. No Fear might pay the price with his life, but they're doing everything they can to keep him alive.
So
nice swap forwards. That means he's invulnerable now to the damage, but there's so much DPS. The fire, the flames, the pit. Nongrata pops his ultimate. Iceberg with the BKB will move forwards. The Uber is upcoming. Lil now does land the stun onto the Void. Yes, he missed. No, Leshrac misses the stun. Does he have Yules? He does not. That's going to be an escape. A none for none, except for No Fear, who once again dies and then buys back.
Yeah, Vengeful bought back there, which means that they might go into the pit. There's no Chronosphere, right? So
no Wyvern ult either.
They didn't get a whole lot out of that. Perhaps forced a couple of items and that's it. Ulti on Abaddon is gone though. And No Fear should be careful.
They're thinking about it. Again, it's so hard to fight into the pit against this Underlord. He spams the pit. No Fear immediately going to go down once again. BKB pop by Aragon. He's going to try and get aggressive here. Kuman desperately trying to finish off the Roche. He pops his BKB. He will be able to clean it up, but who will actually pick it up? Leshrac tossed back into the pit. Kuman claims the Aegis and the Roche kill. And now they're going to look to get aggressive. Iceberg taking so much damage. Nongrata trying to keep him alive, but Aragon will finish him off. In the meantime, Terrorblade cleans up what he can. Misha does go down. Meta has faded, however, as he chases down Immersion. Blink up in 1 seconds. It's going to get canceled off by the Reflection. Puts himself under, however. Winstrike, you're going to need to deal some sort of magic damage. He's going to blink away. Nope, will not get it off. He gets the Glimmer. And as you said, Winstrike on the retreat. No Leshrac, no Venge. They do have the Aegis for now, but it was picked up by the Terrorblade. They really wanted that on Iceberg.
At least the bounties are up and they can go pick those up. On the bottom lane, Abaddon takes 2, and perhaps they can go for the top ones as well. Overall, it took Coolman too much time to take down that Roche. Like he had to waste all his meta and the BKB in order to finish it. And by the time he finished it, Lesh was already dead. Vengeful died back. I mean, it's good you have the Aegis, but you'd much rather have it on Lesh, I think, at this point. So. Unfortunately, Cheese is there as well.
It's the same reason you don't like Aegis on Death Prophet, on Lycan, on Terrorblade. These heroes, when you have Aegis, it puts you in a position where you're effectively going to, you have 2 lives, but you're going to be weak during one of them.
You're going to be weak during the second one. Like, you're going to pop the meta.
If you pop meta with Aegis up still and you die, well, you respawn, sure, but you're not going to be effective.
I guess you bait out the Chrono or a big spell onto you first, you die, and then you use the meta and the BKB afterwards. But overall, it's not the perfect hero to have the Aegis on. That's as simple as it can be.
Oh,
Immersion.
they're going to go in. Do they have detection? Here's the question. Yes, they do. And the double.
gone.
See, no buyback?
He does have it.
Okay.
Lesh,
Chrono,
however,
he's dead. ILTW, he's finding the right Chronos. Tier 3 does go down, however. Kuman pops the meta, has the DD active. Immersion does buy back, along with Leshrak. Looks like Winstrike is trying to go for it.
Iceberg
They know
has
there's
to be
no
careful.
glyph.
Iceberg has to be careful. That's a buyback. Good swap.
Oh, he might still
Oh,
die.
why are you going to him?
Oh,
Lil.
14 HP, but they don't get any spells off. Lil tosses him away, just barely
So
keeping him
close.
alive. Holy shit, that could have been dangerous. Iceberg going to do the walk of shame all the way back to base and then look to get involved once again. Kuman pops the Manta, ditches the chains, and looks to get away. They have killed the mid-racks. Iceberg
was
living
so
with
close.
14
Yeah.
HP.
And he just bought back as well. If he dies there, they could actually fight afterwards.
Wow, look at this. A Hex picked up onto the Terrorblade. You don't see this every day, but you are playing up against that Faceless Void. Does make
And
sense.
the Ember, right? Like
Yeah.
it helps out versus both of those.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
But
Don't you buy Torn in that situation?
yeah, that's what I was about
though?
to say. I guess they both have BKBs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you already have so much lockdown. I don't know. That makes sense. It just means that he's trying to be a threat in and of himself. Shiva soon to be completed on Ergon.
He has that recipe. Needs what, 400 gold more. I'm gonna say hi to Iceberg. Iceberg gonna pop the BKB instantly. Just afraid, I guess. Spooked him right there. He thought that Ember isn't alone. Popped the BKB because of that, but just looks funny.
Yeah, I respect the decision. I
Yeah,
mean,
he has no buyback,
yeah,
right? He just bought back. So.
especially in big tournaments like majors and stuff. Chat always memes about those sorts of plays, but we've seen now multiple times in this tournament.
there's
oh,
the-
hey,
that's-
whoa, swap used. They got the Hex off. Wyvern's got to get an ult off on somebody. He uses on Lil. Ghostic, not the target you really want to go for. He is so tanky, and he's going to look to turn it around. ILTW pops the BKB, manning up on Lil, trying to finish off this kill, but the Invis rune was utilized.
Cool man,
ILTW
however-
going to have to back away.
He does have that Thunder to work with, and he is pursuing them, as he has Aegis as well, so.
One more minute. He's going
Hex
to get a
there.
Hex up. There you go. Toss forwards. No fear. I'm not in position, guys. Get me in front, he says.
Agging himself, Lil just easily cleans up Nisha, as that untouchable does not work against those trees flying at your face. And they take down the shrine afterwards.
Top shrine has fallen.
The thing about this draft from Winstrike is if they just get that little bit of an opening, they will be able to shred through structures, no problem. Chronosphere is still active. Wyvern ulti is not.
Are scattered.
And no fear, of course, we'll have that swap up in 20 seconds to be able to defensively save his ally from that Chrono.
Cool man.
30 seconds on Aegis. He does not care if he goes down here. We'll have meta up in 6. BKB prepared as well if needed. Kuman just trying to use this Aegis to get some building damage done.
Don't even
26
save
seconds.
him, right? Don't
let him die.
Don't let him die, exactly. Don't give them the opportunity to keep him alive until Aegis is gone. There we go. Now you can save him if they try to go
Yeah,
for him.
now it's definitely a good idea to save him. There's no Misha. Kuman just going to pop the meta and start beating into the structures. ILTW goes forward. They still have the swap available. Kuman trying to man up. The stun will land. Hex as well, but the Cold Embrace is there. Immersion in a lot of trouble. He's walking
Immersion's
forward.
dead.
He's just going to go down. He's dead. ILTW now manning up on the
Oh.
Kuman. He misses the Chrono. He misses the Chrono completely, and this could be grim. Kuman so low. Get the swap. He doesn't
got
get
it.
it off in time. Nobody using a spell to save their Terrorblade, and now all of a sudden PG turning it around. Doesn't matter if they don't have a Chronosphere or a Wyvern. They're going to be able to find No Fear. Maybe look to pursue for more. ILTW continuing the chase.
That was some 200 IQ Chrono. Zoning everyone.
Zoning Chrono, you're
but
right.
It did catch Venge though, by the end of it. He caught Vengeful, so I suppose it's good in that way. He tried to catch both of them.
They had to
But,
make,
yeah.
the problem was they ran like the line. They had
Yeah.
to run the triangle formation with Nangrata to one side and the Venge to the
Abaddon.
other.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead, the one Chronosphere just cuts them off completely. Neither one able to save Kuman, who also didn't get a Sunder off on anybody. Just kind of manned up. I don't even think he used the Hurricane Pike. But he
didn't
probably
use
was.
anything.
You know, the thing is, you're trusting your team, right?
Yeah, that's
You're
the
trusting
problem.
your team.
Where is team?
It's not my fault.
That's the question.
Ghostic going for Lil. Just a bit of a tickle.
Yeah, Void is coming in as well. There's no Chrono on him though, but he might still
Oh.
try to do something.
No
Okay.
fear. Swap forward. Lots of damage coming out
LTW.
onto the ping. Oh, hang on. ILTW. He gets the BKB off again.
There
You've
goes
got to
there.
toss first, Lil. He's going to BKB that every time. No fear. Once again, going to go down. Nangrata now pursuing. The tree tosses from Lil doing some heavy damage. Nangrata as well in some trouble. Will get the ultimate off. Shields off the chains, looking to run away. Chronosphere still not active, but up soon. Now LTW forward. Will he be able to get a kill is the question. He gets used up into the air. Stunned.
Has no BKB.
Kuman, Hex. Dead.
He's dead, yeah. I mean, they were just buying time for Kuman to respawn because he has that Hex. Yeah, he has no meta to work with, but with the Hex, they have enough lockdown to take down the Void, who already used the BKB to kill the Vengeful and the Abaddon. Immersion might catch him here with the ulti, but where's the follow-up? You don't have any, so just blinks out away towards his home instead.
They're going to have a Shiva's up on the left track quite soon.
DD
DD bottled on Ember Spear. That is a big play.
I mean, Winstrike just made this game a lot harder for themselves than it was supposed to be, right? With some of these plays. With that mid-fight, when they continued buying back and dying one after another, and also on this top lane, they definitely could have played it safer, saved the Terrorblade somehow with the Abaddon or the Venge.
I like this, though. They're going to split push. Kuman's going to go in bottom, create distraction. And the glyph already popped just because Iceberg has blinked into the base with Edict active. Kuman now continuing to play the bottom half of the map. No Fear closing. They want to be able to force this buyback on Void. And they know that without the Void, there isn't that hard lockdown required to actually find a kill on either end of this map.
Yeah, Lash still around that top lane where Ember is defending with a double damage. So because of that, he won't be able to do a whole lot.
Ghosted with plus 177 damage. Permanently stolen. They're going to clear off the ward on top. No Fear doing his best to just control vision around the enemy base. They have taken out shrines as well, so the game much more difficult for Positive guys. You've got to guess at a point, and that's their last smoke.
Cheese picked up by Abaddon there, finally finding that lost, forgotten piece of cheese in the Rosh pit.
And you can see backtrack was the decision for LTW this game. Went for the Chrono AoE in the previous. Now going to move forwards. This is their last remaining smoke. Aegis is not active. Will be up in 2 minutes, but they need to get something done here. No Fear. What a surprise. Caught out in front again. Nangrata will get the shield, doing what he can to keep his Venge alive, but it will not be effective. Down for the count.
Sadly for them, Rosh is not up. It's a very late Rosh. 2 minutes away. Oh, LTW thinking about that.
Yeah, nice double stun. This could be huge. LTW does have the Chronosphere active. Will it be enough is the question. Kuman doing so much damage to the side. Nice Hurricane Pike, but he's going to get Chronosphere. I don't know if they're going to have the follow-up damage. Lil actually TPs, blinks into the Chronosphere. LTW, even with the BKB up, taking so much damage. Now Ghostic pops the Uber out. No Fear, once again, a little out of position as the ultimate from the Wyvern ensures that Lil takes some heavy damage, but shall survive. And now Misha with no teleport. Hiding. Will he be surviving?
It looks like he might survive, but what's most important is that Chrono has been used, and now they can fight afterwards. There is a meta active on the Terrorblade. Sadly for them, Rosh is still not up for another minute, another full additional minute. There's a lot Sorb now on the Abaddon as well. Oh, hello, Misha.
What?
You're kind of
These 5 positions, man. What is even... What? They have death wishes or something.
Has buyback at least, but yeah, they definitely do have death wishes. There's a crit on Tiny as well. He's moving towards Daedalus. Like, his ulti with Aghanim is going to hurt so much. I mean, the
has the arcane, but no meta up. We'll have it up in time for a potential Roche fight, though. 30 seconds away. Oh, does he have buyback? No, he does not. This is a huge kill if they can get it. As you said, Hex popped. Swap forwards as well. Immersion in so much trouble. He's going to get stunned again. Yeah, he goes down for certain. And now Kuman with that BKB active, looking to beat onto Ghostic. There's no Wyvern available. Iceberg moving forwards, has that level 25. He's going to do so much damage with the Edict. Ghostic in so much trouble, trying to get away from the Leshrac, who is rapidly running out of mana. Lil now with the stun forwards will be able to finish him off. Iceberg, half HP. Got to be cautious. Swap back. Nangrata and Venge doing everything they can to keep their cores alive. Lil now on the side, being attacked by LTW. The bash locks are insane. He's going to go down for sure. Dead for 1 minute and...
Terrorblade bought back, Tiny bought back. They want to continue fighting, but they need to end this game right now, I think, or go for Rosh at least. Because these buybacks, I mean, Tiny bought back just because Terrorblade bought back, that's it. He didn't want to buy back, but Terrorblade messed up. He bought back while Iceberg was porting back into the base, so he was like, all right, guys, I guess we go fight now.
Just gotta be careful. They've grown up in 12 seconds. Oh, he's initiated on. They're gonna get the stun off. Void's just dead.
He's gone. And
no buyback.
Yeah.
Both
No.
big team fighters are gone. Winstrike move into the pit. They're going to be able to finish off the Roche. No fear. Nothing to do but sit in base dead and all chat.
Ergon
But
is
he's
going for
depth at that.
Iceberg.
Iceberg, yeah. He bought back 2, didn't he? No,
Yeah,
he
he
did.
did.
He did?
No, he TP'd back. He TP'd back.
Ember Spirit, Aragon, going to try and get away. In fact, he does. Still, that change to the Tiny Stun
Hex
makes
is
it
there.
so much more difficult to kill Ember Spirit. Kuman to pursue. There's
Misha
no
is
buyback
just
on
gone.
Misha. And that might be it. There's no buyback on the Void. Nope, there it is now. He just got enough gold for it. Daedal is finished on Lil.
Yep, yeah, but that's Aegis, that's Cheese, and that should be Refresher Charge for the Terrorblade.
Look at the damage from this buffed up Edict. Iceberg doing so much damage. And whoa, Kuman almost walked forwards. The Void now coming back into the fray. Iceberg.
Pop the BKB, but does he have anyone to save him? Abaddon is not close enough. Now he is.
Nice
Chrono
Chronosphere.
is there.
They're going to be able to finish him off.
That's
Now
a
trying to
buyback.
force the ultimate on Angrata. Well done. Looking to turn around for Kuman, who gets the Hex off onto the Ember Spirit. A lot of trouble. He's going to force away, however. No problem there. Still a 4-on-5 situation thanks to the buyback on Iceberg. He TP's back in immediately. It's going to be the second racks cleared. No glyph available for another 30 seconds or so as Winstrike look to collect the Mega Creeps if they can get that final racks up top. Glyph does actually just come up available now. Kuman with the meta pop, still trying to beat into the enemy side. Aragon doing what he can to create some space and distance here. Ghostic moves forward, wants to be the meat shield for his team, but Iceberg pops the Edict, countered by the Glyph, and oh god, Kuman just disappeared. He gets
no
the
meta.
Aegis off, sure, but no meta, as you said. Does he have the Refresher Shard?
No fear, can swap him.
No, he's not. It's got to be KB, has Thunder active, but there's no real way for him to deal damage. Just the 1 melee racks remaining. As
Iceberg
the Ember
has no
Spirit
buyback
continues
as well.
to pursue. He's going to try and toss him away here, perhaps. Nope, stun misses. Tiny ultimate will fade as well. Kuman wants to clear off this
No fear.
last racks, but I don't know if it's going to work. No fear, once again, super aggressive. They're right in the middle of the pit. So much damage going
Cheese.
down. Look at this Ghostic right click for like 500 damage. Iceberg, he wants to finish off this racks if he can. Misses the stun. LTW, the BKB, beating into Iceberg. He's got no buyback. If they can kill him off here, this could be huge. A huge Hex though, and a nice Wyvern ultimate to counteract.
Lil just
Iceberg
trying to
goes
go for
down.
axes. Non-grata as well. The
2 more
position
hits.
4 and 3.
One more.
One
They
more.
got to get it.
Get
There
it.
it is.
They got him. Megas are up.
Everybody's got to get the hell out of here now. There's no buyback on the Leshrac. 2 minutes on the deck. If Positive guys can find a couple more kills,
How many
they
buybacks
can
do
potentially
you
go
have?
for the throne. No buyback on the Abaddon for 140 gold. If they can collect the bounty rune, he will be able to come back into the fray. But Kuman might not know that that top bounty is still available. And this is it. You've got to go for it if you're Positive guys, right?
No,
Everything
there's-
all in.
Exactly. Just go until Lash is up and try to go for the throne. If he respawns, it's very unlikely that you'll be able to win this game afterwards. I mean, it's still possible. You have heroes that can defend versus Megas, and we've seen even on TI that the Megas aren't really as huge as they used to be. You can still play against them, but yeah, this game definitely looks like it's over. There's a buyback now for Abaddon too.
It's not over yet. With no Leshrac, this is huge. Remember, there's no buyback on
There's
the
a
Terrorblade
chance.
either. And you are the draft in terms of Positive guys that have the potential to turn things around. And if No Fear gets too frisky here, he doesn't have a buyback either. He has got to be cautious.
There's a gem, I believe, on Edge, so he was spotted. Look at that. Bonus damage, 237. Feels good, man.
Oh, he got the axe. He's giving bonus damage now to his entire team. Thank you, Russian Observer, for highlighting that, because that is going to be huge here. They've got to go for the throne. 30 seconds. Kuman, zoning Hex, just trying to delay the damage output. Ghostic trying to beat into this tower ASAP.
They still have no creeps. The creeps have just arrived.
Yep. Glyph popped. Well played by Lil there, trying to ensure that that creep wave goes down. If they can kill this tier 3, though, the throne will be exposed. Thinking about teleporting out, and in
15
fact, it looks
seconds.
like they will.
They are just going to go back for those bounty runes, I suppose.
But do keep in mind, because of the way the lineup is built, you have the Underlord with the Uber out, you have the Ember Spirit with the Spirit Spam, you have that ability to both catch lanes and play aggressively. You don't necessarily need to all in.
Yeah.
However,
you have a bunch of creeps in your base
Yes.
that are destroying you, and you have to go back to defend it. You definitely have a lot of mobility. You know, it's not the worst team to defend versus Megas, and we might see another 60-minute game here, at least 10 more minutes of Winstrike trying to breach these bases. They will be very, very careful how they approach this Void with Chrono right now.
I like the Vlad's pick up on the Underlord. He realized that they need some sort of lifesteal to be able to sustain against these Megas. Void, Underlord can definitely cure creep waves, but they will not have the sustain to stay at full strength otherwise.
Void also going for that Satanic right now, so
Yep, I
that's
like
something
that.
to help that. Same thing again.
And doing what he can, taking over illusions whenever possible. There's the Ags picked up on Ember. His mobility shall increase dramatically.
And we can see that Vengeful, well, he's had that Etherlands queued up for quite a long time right now. Like for the last 10 minutes at least. He wants it. It's pretty good versus the Void to be able to swap people out of that Chronosphere.
I'd like to see Winstrike get a little closer to the buyback. Really just the one on Lesh. Once they get that, you're good to go. Waiting for Aegis might be the choice instead. Don't blame them. They've got the Mega secured. You can't really get aggressive until you're in a position where you're strong enough to end the game, and they'll need buybacks at least, so might as well wait for those second life.
A really good rune there. Arcane runes. I mean, everything after 14-minute mark can be played around around the runes, right? If you get a good arcane rune, good double damage, you can suddenly set up a team fight around it. An arcane rune on someone like Leshak or Terrorblade is definitely huge.
Yep. Aragon just pushing out the mid wave. Void takes care of top, but bottom wave constantly pressured in thanks to the TB illusions.
As long as they have one wave pushed in, you have to be afraid of the travel in as well. They have heroes that can take down your throne very fast. If they travel in with the Terrorblade and Lash while you're fighting someone else, and they swap you from porting or something similar, you can just lose the throne. They don't even have to fight you.
And you got to be careful not to tunnel vision as well, especially as the Void here, because if you try and aggressively chrono, zerg somebody down, and Lil all of a sudden finds himself in a forest, starts chucking trees, he'll have double Daedalus up in a second. That's like a core's damage output just thanks to those two items. Ooh, Iceberg looking for the Ember Spirit, unable to catch him. And this is the benefit of the Megas, of course. You're always going to have that vision advantage.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's going for Hex. Like, they definitely need one more. Like, one on Terrorblade was good, but Leshak having Hex as well allows them to catch Void. And the Ember easier, no fear, does manage to get away. And this is a bad place for PG to be in.
Oh, for sure. Oh, big chrono, though. Will it be enough is the question. Lil might go down here. Nice swap by No Fear. He's almost certainly dead. In fact, he is. Triple Remnant again. Missed, though, by Aragon. Holy crap, this is going to be enough. ILTW is going to pop the BKB and man up on Kuman, trying to do as much damage as possible. Aragon to the left side this time. ILTW, no. Oh, sick Chronosphere, but he's going to get the leap away immediately. Aggro, Wyvern ulti. Will it be enough? No. Void is dead on the side. Does he have buyback? No, he does not. Down for the count for 1 full minute. And that could be enough. Iceberg doesn't have his buyback either. It's a 4-on-4, but the Megas are in the base.
Same situation is with the Lash, 4-on-4. As you said, 1 minute without the buyback on the Lash and on the Void. But the meta should run out very soon, and we'll see.
I don't know if it's going to matter, though.
Yeah.
They don't have the lockdown.
This should be quite easy for Kuman and the boys to close out.
We shall see. Kuman going forward, just beating into the base. Aragon doing everything he can to try and keep his buildings alive. He's got to be cautious here, though. Is this, what are they really going to be? I don't think they can go for throne here. They got to be careful. The Sunder's used now. Aragon getting aggressive onto Kuman.
Chains missed.
He didn't take the talent either. This is very dangerous. Aragon going to pop the Shivas. You got to be careful for the creeps in the base, but they're dealing with them admirably. There's 2 down now. Venge is down for the count. Lil pops his ultimate, but he's going to get interrupted. And now Aragon, he's doing so much damage. We'll be able to finish off Misha.
On the throne. He tried to go for it, but he also fails as they turn their heads towards him.
They're just juking around. You got to be worried about this base. Kuman moving forwards. Will it be enough is the question. They have Glyph up if they need to. There it is. Kuman does get the BKB off. Now Hurricane pikes himself away. Non-grounded with the ultimate. Both of them have to get the hell out of dodge. Iceberg up in just 20 seconds, but there's still no Void. He does not have the gold for the buyback. This will be a 3-on-4 the moment Iceberg respawns. Non-grata, no ultimate for 20 seconds. Kuman still with metal on cooldown, but they know that they've got PG against the ropes. There's no Glyph available. There's no Void for 30 seconds. That's their clock to win this game. Iceberg going to be TPing in just a moment.
Lash is up. And
Triple Remnants. Whoa.
Oh, that's a huge mistake right there as Immersion is being killed off by Kuman. All right, Ghost saves him, but Lash is back, and that's the throne.
Woo! What a game. What a game. That one ended. I was not even ready. I was like looking at my sheet, and then all of a sudden there was a Chronosphere. Spells used. Abilities whiffed. Aragon, I think, a little too ambitious with the Triple Remnants into the late game.
A couple of times, right?
He just has to find himself on the right targets instead of trying to burst down singles.
He does quite, like when it comes to rotations, as you called it, like mid to late game, he does fairly well. But after that laning stage, perhaps he could rotate a bit faster. Like he could get off the lane a little bit faster. Like Iceberg was rotating left, right, and center while he was just stuck on that mid lane without helping his teammates out. Later on, some chronos were whiffed, used prematurely a little bit, but it was a difficult game for Void, right? You were playing versus Abaddon, you were playing versus Vengeful Spirit. It's easy for them to swap people around. Overall, I think Winstrike had this game from the start.
Yep.
They threw it a little bit on that mid game, on that mid fight, on the mid lane, right? When they started just buying back and
Kind of
playing.
chain feed for a while.
Yeah, they were just playing with them pretty much right there. That was a little bit of a throw, but the game never really went out of their control in their hands.
Yep.
And they closed it out in the end.
They, much like Gambit did yesterday, they 3-0 their way to the playoff stage of the Hamburg GG.Bet Hamburg Invitational. I would say Gambit certainly did it in a more dominating fashion.
Definitely.
Winstrike had to chew out a couple more of those wins, whereas Gambit just looked absolutely
Dominant,
unstoppable. They closed out all 3 games in, I believe, a total time of less than 70 minutes.
Yeah, like yesterday's games were all under 30 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Today's games, like both of these last 2 games went over 60. So
Yeah, in fact,
Yeah.
we actually had the same number of games, but we're done about an hour and 45 minutes later.
exactly.
So definitely more of a grind them out in this series. If we can check out the brackets real quick, we're going to show you how our tournament has started to shape up. As you can see, Group B has concluded. You've got Positive guys dropping down to face the winner of All But Gold versus Singularity. That'll be a BO1 that we'll see at some point tomorrow. Winstrike, of course, advancing into the playoff stage. And on the other side, of course, Gambit will be the winner, waiting to see which team finishes in second as we check out this side of the bracket, where Fly to Moon will be waiting to see who wins the battle of the European teams.
Yeah, European
Hippomaniacs versus Advent.
national teams as well. Czech Republic versus Greek boys.
Yeah, we got a bit of a... And then, of course, the Moon Man. So a bit of an Olympics to see who'll face the aliens. It's been a hell of a day. Lizard,
it's been very interesting. Yeah, much better than yesterday, I think. Like the games were a grind, but yesterday's games were just stomps, and we don't really want that, right?
No.
Like, yeah. So
I agree. Unless we're in a dance competition, nobody wants to see us stomp. Any final thoughts, or is that it?
that's pretty much it.
Beautiful.
Looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's
And
games. That's
you
gonna be interesting.
Looking forward to tomorrow. Do keep in mind to protect your bet fast and easy with no queues, no business hours, and no rejections, because you make a bet on GG.Bet using the code SAVE.
That's it.
That's it.
See you tomorrow.
No. Thank you for watching the presentation from Maincast of the GG.Bet Hamburg Invitational.
Tweet at
I'm
us.
Kyle. Yeah.
Hashtag Maincast.
And that's Lizard, also known as Lifeguard Lizzie. Thank you guys for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of some Dota 2 action. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, sleep tight. And I don't know, don't let the bed bugs, but bye.